Ashraf, I've really enjoyed our time that we've spent together today. I do have one final question, and what I want to ask you is what do you mean by all potentials and possibilities available to me through fourth dimensional living?
Thank you so much for that question. A really pertinent question as a final question for our interview. And we are focusing on the potentials and possibilities that are available to us through fifth dimensional living. What does that mean? What it means is that a beggar, in a beggar's reality, is trapped by their neediness, and all they can be focused on is getting money. And you can't talk to a beggar about financial investments or making money or making more money or working. You can't talk to them about that because they're trapped in a trance of insecurity and neediness. And so they might not see opportunities all around them. And there is a path for that beggar to develop themselves through security to prosperity, that there is for them to be secure and prosperous. But because they are trapped in 4D, archetype of the beggar, lost in insecurity, they can't access those options that exist and those opportunities that exist. So it's only through 5D, through believer consciousness, that you can actually recognize options and opportunities that you can choose and support. And so the addict is the same. The addict is so into, I don't want to feel bad, and I just need the drugs, or I just need to do this compulsion, then I won't feel bad, then I'll feel good. The addict cannot see the opportunities to enjoy themselves and enjoy lives and to live passionately. They cannot see that. And the victim is the same, lost in whose fault is it that I suffer, and because of who not helping me I suffer. They can't see that there's life to live. These three trance states are oblivious of the fact that there's the emergence of themselves, that we can emerge beyond these three trance states into the believer, the adult, and the vicegerent. And that at the fifth level of consciousness, at the fifth dimension of consciousness, remember, beyond time and space. Our bodies, our minds, and emotions are in time and space, but we, the I am, the one that chooses, the one that is aware and chooses, the one that experiences, is beyond time and space. So it's only the person who's aware and is experiencing and is choosing that can claim potentials of being and becoming and possibilities of living and experiencing fifth dimensionally. What does that mean? It means that as long as somebody is in a beggar consciousness, they cannot see themselves operating as a more adult kind of person. No beggar is going to be more caring for themselves, their lives. No beggar is going to watch how they dress and, dress in a much more, or nurture their bodies, be more aesthetically pleasing. The beggar archetype doesn't do that. So the potential exists for somebody to carry themselves with dignity. The possibility exists for somebody to live prosperously, but the beggar won't access it. Neither will the addict, and nor will the victim. So it's only somebody who is beyond the beggar, addict, and victim. They are multidimensionally aware, and they can see, right, how can I be? What can I become? That where I am is only a temporary state. Where I am, what's going on is temporary. But I have a potential to be and become. I'm growing as a person, and I can relate differently to me, my body, and my life. Only a secure person, fifth dimensionally focused person, a believer, can begin to say, there's more for me to be and become. I'm looking forward to being and becoming what I didn't know myself to be, what I didn't experience previously. I can be, I can become, I can experience, and I am so interested. So for example, I became a teacher where I was not a teacher, but I became a teacher. I want to be an author. There's a potential for me to be an author. I'm working on developing an author consciousness, and I can become an author. And I can know myself to relate to people through books and and supporting them in the world. I can be, a supporter of people through, writing. As I know myself to be a teacher, supporter of people in classroom interactions, which I never always knew myself as, but I now have come to know myself. So I became a teacher, and I can become an author. I can become a writer. And I choose that, and I support that potential of being and becoming. Being that person who is using language and written word to communicate. I can be that person. Potential exists for me to be that person. I can become an author. I see that and I choose that. But if I wasn't secure, if I was just somebody needy on money, trying to get a job, trying to make ends meet, I would not focus on what can I be and become, actualizing myself. We can actualize potentials and materialize possibilities. So when I look at me and what can I be and become, what potentials do I have to be and become, I can actualize them. I can move into self-actualization, development, if I'm spiritually grown up. And the same is true, that not only can I see for me what alternatives exist to be and become, but what alternatives exist for me to live and experience. What have I never lived, but I can live? What have I never experienced, but I can experience? Beyond where I am, there's a higher version of me. Beyond what I'm living, there's a higher vision of what I'm living. And that only a secure person, fifth dimensionally aware, fifth dimensionally focused, can see what I can be and become, what I can live and experience. And that's what we mean when we say accessing through the fifth dimension, potentials and possibilities available to you to actualize these potentials and possibilities and materialize these possibilities. And this potentials of being and becoming and possibilities of living and experiencing are alternate realities that already exist. This is what we refer to as the grace of God. God's good for us in this world and the world beyond. This is not something that is not and we have to make happen. These energies already exist multidimensionally. We can match these frequencies. And as we do, we are changed and our lives are transformed, So this is the thing. The more you go multidimensional, you become aware of God, security, the more you are transformed at your level of state. Then you can begin to look at in your imagination, what can I be and become? That's where you are transformed at the level of yourself, showing up in the world, relating to the world. And lastly, the more you become aware of the energies of satisfaction and fulfillment in the areas of satisfaction, being pleased, what is meaningful for you to live, the more you become aware of that, your life is changed. As you support having that, it is materialized for you. So that was the answer to that last question. And I just want to say thank you so much, Yaku, for taking the time to formulate these questions and to support the peers and others, nationally and internationally over the internet to have a deeper understanding of the material, or rather deeper awareness of the material. And I really appreciate these questions and your participation and involvement, as I'm sure the others who are listening to this also appreciate your taking the time to develop and formulate these questions and to interview me. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you again.